Hi, I am Anup Kumar Keshan from Travel and Tour World, international travel media with more than 1.5 million readers across the world. Welcome to our digital platform, and we want to ask you what is the feel about GBTA Atlanta this year?
GBTA Atlanta is, I think we do it for many years already as a partner, as a diamond sponsor for GBTA. SkyTeam Delta, so it's a cooperation with our biggest American carrier within our alliance. It's for us tremendously important because we are meeting here our corporate customers, corporate buyers. We also meet colleagues, and it is tremendously important to keep the network there, to have meetings, corporate meetings, but also the learning sessions. We have in the morning, this year we had our own what we call in-booth presentations to people who like to join. And those are very important also to keep track on the new developments in the industry, to the new developments in not only the airline business, but also with our suppliers. And again, this year in Atlanta, I think we had again more visitors, attendees than the year before in Dallas, the year before in San Diego. So things are moving in the right direction.
We have seen that more than 30% people are new attendees for this GBTA convention. And anyway, business travel is booming all over the world, including US. Particularly, Atlanta ranked top in the US as a business travel search. So, and what are the new products and services about how your SkyTeam function?
Let me first give the floor to Robert. Say a few things about the things we do in the world of sales, in the world of customer experience, and then I will say a few words as well about some other developments.
Hi, Robert.
Pleasure.
This is Anup.
Pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you.
First of all, I just wanted to kind of add on to what Vim was saying. Is that from a corporate standpoint, this is the biggest event that happens here in the U.S. for us to get together. And so when you think about it, you have all these different layers of people, from executives to managers and directors, and when they're all in one place, you can meet with corporate customers. And so for executives, they can knock out many customers back to back over these 2.5 days. It's just an incredible opportunity to get things done and to move the business forward and to refresh those agreements, because as you said, corporate travel's back. But if I'm a buyer and I come here, I can meet with all these suppliers and I can justify the trip, and it has a good ROI. So that's one of the big things that GBTA brings to the table. And there's so much energy that's here. And from a SkyTeam standpoint, we get a chance to update them on the latest things that are going on. And one of the biggest things happening for SkyTeam is we got a new member coming with SAS. So they're going to join us September 1, and we're really excited about that. So we're kind of telling people about that. But for us, we get to have a lot of meetings. So you can see we're in this beautiful conference room that we have here. And so we can have a meeting that you would typically have at somebody's headquarters and get things done and refresh. So for us, that's awesome. And then in addition to that, we can network with people and talk about potential ideas of what's going to come next. We can follow up on things that are going on. It's just productivity is really through the roof when you come here.
Okay, so what are the new announcements you want to tell to global travel industry, special business travel professionals and corporates?
And I think SES, what Robert mentioned, SES, the Scandinavian carrier, is a tremendous important one for us because it covers a big market, the Scandinavian market in Europe, the northern part, which is huge for business travel.
I would say our commercial synergies is something that we really try to promote while we're here. So while it may not be new, some of your listeners and readers may not be aware of our programs. So,
that's what I really elaborate.
Let me elaborate a little bit. So we have on the corporate side, we have 3 programs at the moment. What we call SkyTeam Corporate Agreements, which is covering the biggest global accounts in the world, where we are making contracts for the 19 members, whatever the customer wants. For the customer, it's easy. They have one point of contact, one legalese, meaning one contract, so they don't have to make deals with all kind of different airlines. So it's one contract.
One contract is for everybody.
It's a huge savings for companies, and with not just the cost, but the amount of work that they have to do. Because instead of having to review 10 to 15 individual agreements, we bundle them into one. And so it really is a huge time saver for them.
For the corporates.
It's for the corporate.
It's
Wonderful.
easygoing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are saving their time, energy, everything.
Exactly.
Well, and the trend is in the corporate space is they want to have less vendors, but they want to get more out of each of the agreements, and that's what we give them. So
Yeah.
we are a great solution to what companies need today.
Great to know about it. I was not aware that you
That is,
were
and
doing
it is,
like this.
and at SkyTeam Corporate Agreement, we have a similar program, but it's more focused on the local, so not on the global accounts, the corporate accounts, but the local accounts in China.
Yeah.
And it's also in the local language, it's in Chinese. So the contracts are made in Chinese. We have an account manager, 2 account managers in China, in Beijing and Shanghai.
Everywhere.
No, in the mainland China, so not everywhere in the mainland China. So
Yeah.
we have 2 SkyTeam account managers helping us to get the deals done,
Because
deals
the
done in China.
language barrier in China
Exactly,
is very
that's
high.
it.
They want the documents in English. They want them in Chinese.
Yeah, everything they need
Yeah.
in Chinese.
And then we have a similar program launched at the end of February in Hong Kong,
Okay.
also for the local accounts in Hong Kong, and we want to spread it more in
Okay.
other markets. Then we have a program which is called SkyTeam Global Meetings, which is focused on the MICE segment, so meetings, incentives, congresses, events. So people coming in from everywhere in the world with one of the 19 members coming into for an event in wherever the event is taking place.
And what's really great about that is that as a meeting organizer, you don't have to do the work. Basically, you register online for this, and as long as you sign up to have at least 50 people, and it can fall below it, there's no clawback there. But what happens is you get a code, and then you give that code to the event, and they publicize it, and so the people coming to the event can then use that code and then get a discount. So it's a really great product that's easy to use and doesn't require a lot of work on the meeting planner side.
You do marketing for your combined group of all of your partner airlines all together.
Yeah.
So one marketing program for all the airlines.
Yes.
Now we call it sales programs.
Huh?
We call it a sales program because in principle we try to generate revenue for the members.
Yeah.
But doing it together by combining the 19 carriers, it's easier and your reach is much bigger.
Yeah.
Because with
Definitely.
19 carriers certainly for corporate, but also for events, it's much easier to get the business done. A fourth program we run is marine offshore for the seamen, going to offshore, going to ships, to cruise ships, to oil platforms. A fifth program is what we do here, events. Or 6 programs, sorry. So you see that what we try to do is we want to create whatever we do, we want to create a value. We want to add value to our members, but also to our customers. Because that's, I think, the stronghold of SkyTeam. What we try to do is not only because we are there for the members, they can do it themselves, but sometimes we can make it easy for them to do business.
Yeah.
And for corporates, or for
penetrate in
event
new markets.
organizers, That's on the sales side. If you may, then I will also say something about the product side, because it's nice to do these kind of things, but we also need to have a program that these 19 carriers, for instance, looking at customer experience, if you fly with Delta, or you fly with Korean Air, or you fly with Air France, or KLM, or China Eastern, your experience is different on board. But what we try to do before they come on board, to make the customer experience as easy as possible. We call that seamlessness. So if you fly, for instance, from let's say from the US via Europe to let's say the Gulf area, you fly with different carriers. What we try to do is seamless check-in. And I think we reach end of this year 95% of the customers. It's a seamless check-in experience from the customer. So whatever flight they use from one of the 19 carriers, they can go to one of the websites or one of the carriers flying in that route, and they can also do, for instance, flying first with Delta and then beyond with Saudia. They can easily do the check-in online via Delta on the Delta website, and then also the Saudia flight is checked at the same time.
Okay.
We're going to do the same with baggage tracking. Well, you know what happened, of course, the last few days because of the issue.
Microsoft.
Exactly. Exactly. So that is covering now. Exactly. But we are covering that with our alliance to get that arranged. So seamless check-in, baggage. The third part is where you're very strong on the loyalty part, whereby our loyalty programs are still remaining in the loyalty programs of the different airlines. But you can combine, you can redeem, and you can earn the points on each each other, so you don't have to be a member of all the different, loyalty programs. We are covering that. That's, by the way, as per the 1st September, including the Euro bonus program of SCS. And last but not least, I think that's also a pretty stronghold of what we're doing, is the Sky Priority. Also, you saw somewhere in the if you fly regularly on the airports, you see the red sign, the Sky Priority. Okay. That is also something we do in more than 1,000 airports around the world, where you also see the signage for our Elite and Elite Plus customers. We're very clear, and we do that for our members. The last thing I like to know, but maybe you can say a few words about sustainability.
Yeah. So when you think of sustainability, SkyTeam doesn't have any planes, right? So it's kind of hard for us to do something in with space. But what we've come up with is something called the Flight Challenge. And this is going to be the 3rd year in doing it. And so when it first started off, we had 16 airlines participate. Now we're up to 24. And what's exciting about that is we only have 19 members of SkyTeam. So we've gone beyond the reach of just our members to include some other airlines in it. And what it does is it's a co-opetition. So in other words, it's a friendly competition where we try to outdo each other with ways to be sustainable that's out there. And so then once these sustainable practices are done on a flight, they're shared so that other airlines can learn from each other. Okay. And then we can build a best practice, because just like safety, sustainability is not a competition. It is something that we need to raise the whole industry with. And so some good examples. Virgin this year did the first 100% SAF flight. Why that's important is up until this point, people have said 50% is the most you can do. They proved that 100% is possible. That means 0 carbon emissions that would come out. Wow, that's where we want to be by 2050, right? So that's exciting. And then you get somebody like Kenya Airways that said, wow, let's take the SAF usage, and they were the first ones to bring SAF to the continent of Africa, right? So those are some great things that are going on. Some other things that we saw is like Air France, they did a green project with an airport where not only did they get their vendors, but they got the vendors of the airport, so third-party vendors, to participate in this. So it wasn't just one airline doing it, it was a community around the airport that got involved with it. So just some great ways that we can help spread this, being sustainable in the industry. So SkyTeam's kind of taken some leadership in that.
So anyway, nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Anoop.
Anoop.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.